Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Thank you for the follow, host00, host 00
Amazing.
312.
Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
Oh, this is London. Finally arrived here. Our protagonist, lawyer and his assistant.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
London? Okay. I think I saw Evil Tower there. In the background, I mean. Right. It's the Supreme Court. 18th February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court Lord Chief Justice Office. Let's see. Who's gonna introduce us here? Okay, 2000 shock. What an incredible place! It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they have only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? Far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. Certainly I'm unfamiliar. Okay, but I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice Office, Norohodasan, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice? We had instructions to report here at this time. If circumstances were different, we were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity as envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes, and having delivered his or her message on invoice duty is done. So we would have to return to Japan. We want to remain here in Great Britain. Have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I have been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. What's cooking? Good looking. Hi, man. I thought you went to sleep. Glad to see you, man. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we will be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Oh, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Oh, who's this guy? Oh, I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Mail Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. Oh, and I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Oh yes, thank you. He tried to be confident in front of this guy, Mail, and then he's being more bold, you know. Okay, we have to talk to him. Conversation. London, law student, London. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh. We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Sasato-san. And everyone seems to jolly and fully of vigor. Yes, there is much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we will be hosting here in London. Great exhibition? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history and will make Paris World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world, even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we will welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. He is fired up. Lost it. Let's see if we can, what's this? Armband. I inherited from Kazuma. It identifies the wearer as a defense lawyer throughout the Empire of Japan. What do I examine this one for? Oh, something is written here. Kazuma's Asugi. Just here. These are the scales of justice. They are a symbol of the defense, aren't they? Yes, that's right. The scales are a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law. And they are a warning to those who will enter the courtroom without an impartial mind. Okay. But if they are the mark of the defense, it would be more suspicious if they were weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think. Very impartial, I'm sure. Okay, what's written behind you? Kazuma Asugi. The lawyer's name is embroidered on the inside here. Look. Kazuma Asugi, this was his band, of course. He had his heart set on this study tour in Great Britain. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here. But he lost his life before he even had the chance to see the place. I have such a strong sense of his hopes and dreams when I look at this armband, though. Okay, next mark, I think. Okay, that's it. Sometimes you get achievements for these extra checkpoints. People. Lord Chief Justice Wheels Absolute Authority. Okay, he's 52 years old. He looks young though. Just the hair is white. It's okay. He's truly intimidating man. Okay. Let's see. Law student. Lord Chief Justice. I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asugi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you're honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news. Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy. I see that it's true. And it's with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, this is it then, the moment of truth. Okay, continuing the study too. I have to convince him. The thing is, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there is nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else, another lawyer from Japan, I mean? Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asugi. At least that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. Yeah, it seems like it. Just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Mr. Naruhodo, I could ruin the things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? If there is someone else here from Japan who would be described as a lawyer, it's... Actually, there is no one. It's Miss Sato. It's me. Of course, I have to choose. It's me. It's me, of course. It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer? I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I have learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Buria. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full dedication. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asugi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opinion statement there, Mr. Naruhodo, it was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So you are willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for the entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? You say you intended to do everything Mr. Asugi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction of there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Okay. Test. Oh shit. I'll be test now. Is he gonna ask me questions? Um, so what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There is an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news. So today, straight away, if you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you will have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say. But I should mention just in case. If the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He will be put to death. Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. You would be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice and have decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? There is no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you have come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you are willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asugi? I would like to understand just how far you are willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You have fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What is it to be? Okay, awkward silence there. What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Okay, I have to do it. I won't do it. I have to do it. How about we save? Let's try what happens if I said I won't do it. Yeah? I'm sure I have to say I'll do it, but I'll choose this one just to see what kind of reaction we'll get here. Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, I can't do it, I can't get the words out. 15 seconds. Your decisions making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. Okay, so I didn't say it. So it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry, you have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. Test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. طردني. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but what could I do? It's alright, I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. Was I right? Did I choose the right one? Okay, wait. What are you trying to say, madam? I think I choose the right option there. I think what Mr. Sato means is that no matter how badly I would like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. Yeah, I chose the right one. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Road Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. Defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there is only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. Okay. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope. Yeah, really, I'm the only one. So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. And he left. Left us alone. He's gone. The Old Bailey. If we are going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Hold on, let me save another area. I wanna load that save and see what the other option does. Apparently I got the right option from the start. Maybe that one also will work. I will do it. Let's see, I will show you my resolve now. Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is I can't do it, I can't get the word. Oh, okay. So even if I said that I'll do it, I will get the same results. Yeah. So it's as suspected. Noble. Yeah. Same. Yep. These are the same words. And it's the same. Let's go back. Yeah. Conversation. What to do? Wait, let's examine the area, then check. Julie, I'd like to see. Sir, can I just ask you something? Careful from this position. You can perform a suicidal takedown in an instant. I know. Mr. Naruto, you heard Lord Stormheart. Trial starts imminently. Oh. If I need to throw you, I will. You know, you could just say I think we should hurry to the courtroom. You need to ask me anything. It had better wait until we are at the Old Bailey. I guess we can't interact with anything right now. Oh, there is. I should have looked before talking to him. It's okay. Maybe next time. Move. Oh, baby. Okay. What about conversation? What to do? Let's look at it. Oh, same. Careful on this position. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I read that already. Anything I read once, I will just skip it, you know. Okay, time to go to the Old Bailey. Yes, let's go. 18th February, 9:45 a.m. Old Bailey Defendants and Ante-Chamber. Oh, thank goodness, we are in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. We never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when he climbed aboard? She's gonna read her notes. Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there is a genie in it for you. Okay. Genie? Okay. I don't use that word much. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you are so pleased. I thought we were going to die and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there is that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there is no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruto? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. Feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you are to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Top of the morning to you, Madame, Sir. Don't tell me this is the guy. What are yous doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Things. Sorry. Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east? Are yous? Okay. I have to try to understand how this guy speaks. Alright. We're from Japan, yes? Oh, Japan, is it? Right? Say no more. So, how much do you need? No, we are just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land. Okay, this is very strange. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no? This grand is grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Guineas? I think that's the currency. Say nothing now. Ha! Oh, 1,000 guineas? Please, Miss Sato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? There's nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ugh, that hit me in the eye. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it, strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh, to be honest, this a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self. Here, I'll be in the dock. Oh, this is the guy then. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you would be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about the thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you are the defendant in this trial? Blustering blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names? No, sorry, we have only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Sorry, a park? What? This called Gilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London? A city with smiles, that's my vision for London. There is nothing Magnus MacGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. Okay, MacGilded, that's his name. Magnus MacGilded, okay. Alright, finally, we got a name. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. Oh, but Now they have the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus MacGilded. What is the matter with the London police? I ask, yeah. Ha, ha, ha. Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Rodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves. Wait, ourselves? Introduce over. I thought ourselves. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Ourselves. I think that's a mistyping. I should say ourselves. Alright, just one word. Good idea. Huh? Mr. MacGilded, the thing is, we are actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see? Ha, ha, ha. So if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you would be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our... What was I after saying, you daft Egypt? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking. This chancellor of a fella claims to have more money than the queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't be higher? But can he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Yes, because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well, not at all. Not at all. Although it is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer? I mean, that would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry, did he just say Reaper? I, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Baroque Van Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeeks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lumps. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached the desperate situation where there is no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Baroque Van Zeeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madame. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel, that would be me. Oh, this time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened until you showed your face here. I would made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I've decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance, a student of law, wouldn't you know? This no accident, I can assure you of that. This fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. Fate, huh? Alright. I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Mr. Naruhodo, the man has no one. He will have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. Yep, we're going in. What's happening then? My first trial in a British court. I hope you are watching over me, Kazuma, because I have no idea how am I going to manage this. Well, that's some word of confidence. Let's see the British courtroom. Oh, fire. Okay, this is new. 18th February, 10 a.m. The Cold Bailey courtroom. Oh, there are 6 judges. What? So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. Centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. Feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes word redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh yes, what? He's so worried. Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. Von. Oh, this is the judge. Okay. He's like Santa Claus. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I like this music, man. The courtroom music is awesome. It's intense. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. He's like Dracula. Van Zeeks, the prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready, and I couldn't be farther from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me. Nipponese? Wait. Nipponese. Okay. Nipponese. Right. Instead of saying Japanese, Nipponese. Right. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the lips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder. capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I have always said, my lord, this a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fellow is a student from some little island off in the Far East, is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? I would like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. What a fine gentleman! Do you hear that? Generated 5,000 pounds. Mother, please, we go to Gilded Park. Yeah, the crowds are talking. So I'll just skipping randomly then. Let's see if we can see. It's not important, but just listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated 5,000 pounds to the government the other day? Mother, please, may we go and play in McGilded Park? Right. It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. Okay. That's definitely welcome news. He certainly had a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? I think these are the witnesses. I think. Let's. Oh no, wait, the judges. Juror. No, oh fuck. So many judges here. Juror number 1. Yes, my lord. Lord, if the task is to send rooters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. Housemaid. Okay. Juror number 2. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish permanently. Naturally, I agree. This guy's playing with a knife. Juror number 3. Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. Oh, nothing? Okay. I feel a chill. Juror number 5. Juror number 6. Old woman. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. Oh, Mr. Naruto, those people are the jury. Yes. Judge and jury, right. Yes, that's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdicts depends on the opinion of these 6 jurors. The judge passes the sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That's I don't know. But I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Okay. Yes. Prosecutor Van Zeeks. My lord, It's been a number of years since we have seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you would renounce your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstances of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruto. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. Okay, he's really good, that's cool. The victim was a maker of buildings, bricks, known in the community as Thick-Fired Mason. Thick, right? Thrice, okay, we got it. Sorry, thrice. He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. Okay, that's how he died. Victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigation medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, Consul. I shall accept that and photograph as evidence. We got the currency too. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord, is that blood, Counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilded gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. The defendant's leather gloves have been entered into the court record. How did I get to this? I'm backed into a corner before I've even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers